Hi everybody, it's Honest John. I guess it would be accurate to describe me as a liberal. Although my views are all over the map. I mean, if you really think about things, you don't just follow a set of guidelines. If you really form your own opinions, you're going to have conservative opinions on some things, liberal opinions on others, and moderate opinions on others. And also, another aspect of this is that a lot of stances that used to be considered conservative on some issues are no longer considered that way, because conservatism has moved so far to the right, it is so extremist, that views that used to be conservative are now considered moderate or even liberal. This is because modern conservatism is not based on thought, it's not based on reality, it's based on fear, greed, and hatred. Liberalism is actually a moral stance. So, for example, liberals believe that helping the poor is a moral imperative. Conservatives have demonstrated a vast indifference to the poor. Liberalism is based on a clear-eyed view of reality. Conservatism is not. Perfect example is the conservative approach to climate change. Even though there's almost universal agreement among scientists about what climate change is, who caused it, and what needs to be done about it, conservatives deny all of that. Even as the farmers have more trouble raising crops because the weather is more erratic, even as our storms get bigger, our weather gets weirder, conservatives continue to deny it because of greed. Because the fossil fuel industry, which funds a lot of conservatives, is a huge industry with a lot of financial investment. And if we were to take a clear-eyed view about climate change, the only conclusion you can come to is that most of the coal, most of the oil, and most of the natural gas that's in the ground would have to stay there. There would be a huge emphasis on creating alternative energy. And oil and gas and coal would just be considered stopgaps until we can create those alternative sources. But conservatism is married to the fossil fuel industry, there's no doubt about that. And so it's more important to protect profit than it is to protect the planet. The same theme is in the conservative view of Wall Street. It has been clearly demonstrated just how much damage Wall Street can do to the country if it's not watched like a hawk. But conservatives remain completely in favor of deregulation. Liberals believe that the people who benefit the most from being Americans, the rich, should pay their fair share. This is pretty sensible. Conservatives regard taxes as evil, and so they are in favor of anything that the rich can do to get out of paying taxes, which is why we have we still have done nothing about tax loopholes, offshore accounts, all the things that the rich do to hide their money. And the conservatives' anti-government stance stems from two things. First of all, since they're anti-tax, the assumption that they make is that government is evil. So that goes hand in hand. And also, the anti-government movement stems from racism, because the federal government intervened to protect minorities, and all of a sudden conservatives became extremely anti-government. Liberals want to reform the immigration system because it's badly in need of reform. It's hurting our economy. This economy would grow much faster if we had a sensible immigration system that allowed entrepreneurs and workers to be in the country legally. Liberals recognize that immigrants have always made a huge contribution to this country, and that there are more contributions to come. Conservatives are simply afraid of anybody who's different than them. Conservatives talk about religion a lot, but there are deeply religious people on all sides, not just conservatives. There are many deeply religious liberals. But conservatives have embraced the evangelicals, who are the most ignorant, fanatical, intolerant, and hate-filled religious cult that we have here. And like the Taliban, right-wing religious people want to impose their religious beliefs on everybody else. And they are completely intolerant of other religious groups. I mean, right-wing religious people say that Catholics aren't Christian. That's how extreme they are. So, in short, liberalism is guided by reality and a strong sense of morality. Conservatism is guided solely by ideology. Thanks for listening.